Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Gaura Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Om Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय।
गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीर्उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. हरे कृष्ण.
Just a brief introduction of Prabhuji, with his permission. His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu is a senior Brahmachari, teacher and guide from ISKCON Chowpatty, Mumbai, where he has been serving for over 2 decades. He hails from the sacred town of Srirangam, a place steeped in Sri Vaishnava heritage and devotion. From an early age, he was inclined towards spiritual pursuits and scriptural reading, including Tamil devotional literature. Academically accomplished, he completed his B.Tech and M.Tech from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, Bombay, in 2001. After a brief stint in professional life, he experienced a spiritual calling and joined the Brahmachari ashram at ISKCON Chowpatty in 2003. Since then, he has been an integral part of the ashram community, dedicating his life to the service of Sri Radha Gopinath and their devotees. Over the years, Prabhuji has served in several key areas, including deity worship, devotee care, youth and congregation preaching, and especially Shastric education. His deep command over Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, along with his grounding in logic, Sanskrit and theology, has made him a highly respected teacher and advisor. He conducts various courses for devotees and is especially known for teaching advanced subjects such as Shat Shandarbhas by Srila Jiva Goswami. He currently heads the Bhakti Vedanta Academy of Culture and Education, we call it BASE, a vibrant initiative that nurtures spiritual education, culture and arts among youth and aspiring devotees. Through BASE, he fosters the holistic development of students, encouraging the integration of devotional art, drama, music and spiritual knowledge. Despite his illustrious academic background and profound spiritual depth, Prabhu is known for his humility, simplicity and accessibility. Senior devotees often seek his guidance on Shastric matters and nuanced questions of philosophy and application. Currently is also actively engaged in preaching programs at Naya Medical College, Mumbai, where he provides spiritual direction to students and aspiring youth. It is indeed a blessing for us, devotees at ISKCON New Shiva Sangha, to have the invaluable association of Prabhuji here. So we loudly welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji spoke very lofty words about me. I don't actually deserve those words. I hope and pray that by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, those words will come true in the future. But I would like to thank for giving this opportunity for speaking some words from the Srimad Bhagavatam on the subject matter of following the footsteps of the Mahajanas. So in the Mahabharata, there is one very famous section in the Mahabharata called as Yaksha Prashna. Yaksha Prashna is a rapid fire question answer on the subject of Dharma, which took place between Dharmaraj and the Yaksha or Dharma Devata. And this question answer took place in a very dramatic setting. Maharaj Yudhishthir, in front of him, all his 4 brothers were lying  and he himself was very tired. He was very thirsty and hungry. He was running for several hours, running behind a deer. And then it was very noon time, and he was very hungry and thirsty. And when his brothers went to fetch water, they heard a voice that, before you drink water, you must answer our questions. But his brothers did not pay attention to that voice. They attempted to drink water and they became unconscious. So their brothers were practically lying down dead, and his wife was all alone in the middle of the forest. So at that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj had to answer one question after another, around 125 questions or 124 questions. So many of us have faced different exams in our life. But usually all our exams, a date is announced, syllabus is given, model question papers of many previous years are available. So we have to memorize based on the syllabus, and we are prepared for the exam. But oftentimes the real life exams come without any notice. And Yudhishthira Maharaj's exam was, he had to answer many conceptual questions, many cryptic questions. When his body was physically exhausted and his mind was in a very low condition because his brothers were unconscious and his wife was without any shelter in the middle of the forest. So at that time, he had to answer many conceptual questions. So out of those questions, in the last 4 questions are very important. In the last 4 questions, one of the question, the second last question, Maharaj Yudhishthira was asked, Kaha Panta? What is the way? Or what is the path one should follow? Regarding this, Yudhishthira Maharaj gives a very profound answer, very famous shloka in the Mahabharata. Tarko pratishta shrutayo vibhinna nasa rishiryasya matam pramanam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gatassa panta. So tarko apratishta. One cannot come to the conclusion of what is the path to be followed by simply based on logic. Logic will lead to uncertain conclusions. Tarko apratishta. Shrutayo vibhinna. Many times Shastras also give some contradictory viewpoints. To coherently come to the right viewpoint, it may be difficult for a common person, especially when a person reads many Shastras. Tapan Mishra told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Bahu Shastre Bahu Vakye Chitte Brahma hoy. Sadhya Sadhana Hetu Na hoye Nishchay. I studied many Shastras, but my mind is bewildered. I am not able to ascertain what is the ultimate goal and what is the path to attain that ultimate goal. Naiko rishiryasya matam pramanam. Many rishis, they keep giving conclusion which is different from all other rishis. The conference of the rishis is like, suppose a local train compartment. Suppose it is filled with 100 people and all the 100 people are pickpackets. So each person is trying to think how to pickpacket the other person. So you can imagine the vibration in that local train compartment. So when there is a conference of Munis, each person is trying to think that how I should say something different from others. So, Naiko Rishiryasya Matam Pramanam. So, many say rishis, many munis who are trying to think based on mental speculation, they try to give different conclusions. Therefore, in order to understand Dharma, Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam Mahajano Yena Gatassa Pantha. The secret of Dharma is hidden in the heart of the great souls. By following in the footsteps of the Mahajanas, one can actually understand the path of Dharma. So, इस श्लोक में जब युधिष्ठिर महाराज को पूछा गया है, हमारे जीवन में कौन सा मार्ग को पालन करना चाहिए, तो युधिष्ठिर महाराज उत्तर देते हैं कि महाजनों के पद चिन्हों में, महाजनों को पद चिन्हों को हमको पालन करना चाहिए, क्योंकि काफ़ी बार ऋषिगण के मत भिन्न, ऋषिगण हर एक ऋषिगण का मत भिन्न होता है और शास्त्रों में भी अलग अलग विरुद्ध विचार बताया जाता है और तर्क से हम एक कंक्लूशन में नहीं आ पाएंगे. इसीलिए महाराज युधिष्ठिर बता रहे हैं कि महाजनों के पद चिन्हों में चलना चाहिए. एंड श्रीमद् भागवतम आल्सो गिव द सेम कंक्लूशन बिकॉज भारतार्थ विनिर्णयः. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the essential meaning of the Mahabharata. And the same thing which is there in the Mahabharata is spoken in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 6th canto, 3rd chapter, where Yamaraj is speaking to the Yamadutas. Yamaraj says that, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Navai vidur rishayo napi devaha nasiddha mukhya asura manushya kutonu vidya daracharanadayah. So Yamaraj says that neither the rishis nor the devas nor the asuras are the human beings. What to speak of the vidyadharas, charanas, they cannot understand the dharma, the Bhagavata Dharma, which is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So the Bhagavata Dharma, which is established by the Lord, cannot be ascertained by devas, asuras, etc. And then who knows the Bhagavata Dharma? And what is the nature of the Bhagavata Dharma? And what is the result of understanding the Bhagavata Dharma? That is described in the next two shlokas. Swayambur Naradashambho Kumara Kapilo Manuhu Pralado Janako Bhishmo Manur Vayyasa Kirvayam Dwadashaite Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yajñātvā amritam ashnute. So Yamaraj says that Swayambhu, that is Lord Brahma, Swayambhu, Narada Muni, Lord Shiva, Shambhu, Kumara, the four Kumaras, Kapiladev, and Swayambhuva Manu, Pralada, Janaka Maharaj, Bhishma, and Bali Maharaj and Vayyasaki, that is Shukadeva Goswami. These 12 personalities, Dwadashaite Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha. So Yamaraj is addressing the Yamadutas in an affectionate way, Bataha. These 12 personalities know the Bhagavata Dharma. Balir Vayyasakir Vayam. Yamaraj is keeping his name at the end out of his humility. Balir Vayyasakir Vayam. These 12 personalities know the Bhagavata Dharma. And what is the nature of Bhagavata Dharma? Dharmam Vishuddham Durbodham Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham, it is very confidential. Vishuddham, it is pure. Durbodham, it is difficult to understand. Yajñātvā mrutamashnute, and knowing that Bhagavata Dharma, the signs of pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a person attains immortality. A person attains the lotus feet of the Lord. So in this way, the Srimad Bhagavatam also mentions the importance of following in the footsteps of the Mahajanas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu paraphrased the meaning of the same shloka of the Mahabharata, the same shloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in his own words in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Dharma sthapana hetu sadhura vyavahara. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Mathura, he performed ecstatic Sankirtan on the banks of Yamuna. And there was another devotee who also performed Sankirtan with great enthusiasm. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was astonished by his enthusiasm, after performing Sankirtan for a long time, he asked him, "May I know who you are? How did you develop such ecstatic love for Krishna?" So that devotee told, कितने लोगों को अंग्रेजी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, हिंदी में बोलूं? Simultaneous zone, or should I shift between? अरे अच्छा जी, ओह, should I transfer between Hindi and English, or somebody transfer? I think I will speak in Hindi little. तो श्रीमद् भागवत में भी यमराज महाजनों को, महाजनों के बारे में बता रहे हैं कि महाजन लोग भागवत धर्म, भगवान को कैसे प्रसन्न करना है, महाजन लोग जानते हैं, इसलिए उनके पदचिन्हों में हमारा जीवन चलाना चाहिए, ऐसा यमराज भी बताते हैं. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the devotee said that long before Madhavendra Puri came to Mathura, and out of his mercy he accepted me as his disciple. So by his association only I got this attraction for Krishna. So immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances to the devotee. Then the devotee told that he had also told, when Madhavendra Puri came to my house, he took prasadam in my house. So then then the devotee told that I want to invite you to come to my house. You please come to my house. I will make all arrangements for prasadam to be cooked for you, and your servant can cook prasadam for you. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, why are you telling my servant to cook prasadam for me? Why don't you cook prasadam for me? So that devotee told, see, I belong to a lower caste Brahmana. If people come to know that you have taken prasadam cooked by me, the common people will criticize you. And I cannot tolerate the criticism of you. Therefore, I don't want to cook prasadam for you. I will make all the arrangements, let your servant cook prasadam for you. But Mahaprabhu said, Madhavendra Puri has taken prasadam cooked by you. Dharma sthapana hetu sadhura vyavahara. The standard of how to practice dharma is established through the conduct of the sadhus. So I want to follow in the footsteps of the Madhavendra Puri. I will take prasadam cooked by you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in order to honor the conduct of Madhavendra Puri, he ordered the devotee to cook prasadam for him. So चैतन्य महाप्रभु जब मथुरा में आए थे, एक भक्त उनके साथ बहुत उत्साह से संकीर्तन कर रहे थे. चैतन्य महाप्रभु उनसे पूछे, आपको कैसे इतना कृष्ण प्रेम कैसे प्राप्त हुआ? उन्होंने बोले कि माधवेंद्र पुरी मुझे शिष्य के रूप में स्वीकार किए, उन्होंने मेरे घर में प्रसाद स्वीकार किया और उन्होंने बोले कि आप मेरे घर में आइए, आपको प्रसाद पकाने के लिए मैं सभी व्यवस्था करूंगा, आपके सेवक आपके लिए प्रसाद बना सकते हैं. महाप्रभु बोले कि माधवेंद्र पुरी स्वयं आपके घर में प्रसाद लिए हैं. सो माधवेंद्र पुरी जो उनके जो कंडक्ट है, उनके जो व्यवहार है, उनके जो शीलता है, उससे हम धर्म को पालन कर सकते हैं, उनके उदाहरण से. इसीलिए मैं आपके हाथों से बनाए हुआ प्रसाद को मैं स्वीकार करना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि माधवेंद्र पुरी स्वयं आपके हाथों से बनाए हुआ प्रसाद को स्वीकार किए हैं. So in this way we see this following in the footsteps of the Mahajanas. This principle is given great importance by Yudhishthira Maharaj and Yamaraj, that is Yamaraj, and by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with this background, we will try to discuss something from the first Mahajan, that is Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma comes in various places in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but we will try to touch some points. Till what time we should go? 7:30. Okay. 7:40. Okay. So Brahma's character comes in many places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, right in the first verse we hear, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. The whole Vedic knowledge was imparted to Brahma by Lord Krishna. In the first canto, 12th chapter, when the Parishit Maharaj's qualities were being narrated by the astrologers, at that time they say that Pitamaha Samasamye, this child Parikshit, in his equanimity, he will be like Lord Brahma. Pitamaha, here it can refer to Yudhishthira Maharaj, it can refer to Lord Brahma. श्रीमद् भागवत में पहले स्कंद में बताया गया है कि ये परीक्षित महाराज, इक्वेनिमिटी क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी? समभाव रखना में ये स्वयं ब्रह्मा जी जैसे इस गुण को प्रदर्शन करेंगे. So Srila Prabhupada says that when Lord Brahma how he exhibited equanimity, oftentimes when a leader is trying to serve a group of people, he may be criticized by the very people for whom he is working. So at that time, the leader should not get disturbed by the criticism, rather he should carry on with his service. That requires equanimity. Lord Brahma was criticized by the gopis. The gopis said that, oh, this creator is inexperienced. He has created an eyelid, and that eyelid is causing obstruction. Because of that, we are unable to take darshan of Krishna continuously. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karana brajat kapola subagam suvilasa hasam nityotsavam na tatrupu drishubhi pibantyo naryo narascha mudita kupita nimeshcha. So here the Krishna, the gopis, Shukdev Goswami is actually mentioning about Krishna's beauty. There he says that the gopis were experiencing a continuous festival by taking darshan of Krishna. Naryo narascha mudita kupita nimeshcha kupita. They were angry towards the Creator for creating the eyelids. Even in the Gopi Gita, gopis are saying that atati yad bhavan akhnikananam truti yugayate tvamapashyatam kutila kuntalam shrimukam chate jadaudikshatam pakshmakridrisham. So the gopis are saying that even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which were fashioned by the foolish Creator. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says that a leader has to have the quality of equanimity. And Lord Brahma exhibited this quality. He had to face criticism by the gopis. So परीक्षित महाराज के बारे में बोलते हैं कि ब्रह्मा जी को गोपियों ने उन्होंने ब्रह्मा जी के बारे में बोले कि ब्रह्मा जी को वो अनुभवशाली व्यक्ति नहीं है, क्योंकि इनके वजह से हमको श्री कृष्ण का दर्शन को हम बिना रुकावट हम देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि आंख के ऊपर जो आईलिड है, जो कृष्ण के दर्शन कर बिना रुकावट को देखने के लिए हमको बाधा डालता है। इस तरफ गोपियों ने ब्रह्मा जी को भी निंदा करते हैं, ब्रह्मा जी को भी क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं। और फ्रॉम ब्रह्मा वी कैन लर्न हाउ टू बी अ स्टूडेंट and also how to be a teacher. What is the mood of a student? About Brahma it is said that Bhagavan Brahmakatsyena Triranvikshya Manishaya Tadadyavasyat Kutasto Ratiratman Yato Bhavet. In the Srimad Bhagavatam second canto it is said that Lord Brahma studied the Vedas 3 times with full concentration, with full attention, and scrutinizingly he went over the Vedas again and again. That is how a serious student should learn the Shastra. And then after studying the Vedas 3 times, he came to the conclusion, Ratiratman Yato Bhavet. That the ultimate conclusion of the Vedas is to develop attraction toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the conclusion which Brahma came. And especially we see Brahma, the quality of a student, how Brahma was not studying the Shastra in a superficial manner or without paying attention. He paid full attention to studying the Shastras. So ब्रह्मा जी से हम सीख सकते हैं कि एक छात्र का स्वभाव कैसे होना चाहिए। एक छात्र शास्त्र अध्ययन में बहुत ही अटेंशन के साथ उनके पूरे मन को शास्त्र अध्ययन में लगाना चाहिए। इसीलिए भगवत गीता में शास्त्र अध्ययन को एक तपस्या ऐसा श्री कृष्ण बोलते हैं। स्वाध्याय अभ्यसनम चैव वांगमयम तप उच्यते. And Brahma, we can also learn how Brahma, what is the mood of him being a teacher. When Narada Muni asked questions to Lord Brahma, in the second canto, 5th chapter, Brahmaji begins his answer by saying that Samyak Karunikasyedam Vatsate Vichikitsitam Yadaham Chodita Saumya Bhagavad Virya Darshane. Brahma is saying that, my dear Narada, you have been merciful towards me. You have been merciful towards me. Because of your questions, I have got a chance to think about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavat Virya Darshane Yadaham Chodita Saumya. I have been inspired to think about the glories of the Supreme Lord because of your questions. So Brahma is beginning his speech by actually thanking the student in front of him. So ब्रह्मा जी से हम एक अध्यापक का मनोभावना क्या होना चाहिए वो भी हम सीख सकते हैं. तो ब्रह्मा जी नारद मुनि को बोलते हैं कि आपने मेरे ऊपर कृपा बरसाए हैं क्योंकि आपने इतने अच्छे प्रश्न पूछे हैं कि इस प्रश्नों के वजह से मुझे भगवान के महिमा के बारे में चिंतन करने के लिए, भगवान के महिमा के बारे में बोलने के लिए मुझे एक अवसर मिला है. इस तरफ नारद मुनि को बोलते हैं आपने मेरे ऊपर कृपा बरसाए हैं. एंड देन वी सी Brahma's honesty. When Narada Muni asked Brahma, it appears that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead because you are actually performing creation without anybody's help. It seems you are the independent creator, you are the independent Bhagavan. But Brahmaji, right in the very beginning, he actually refuses that. He says that Nandritam Tavatachapi Yatamam Prabhuvishibo Avishahya Paramatta Yetavatvam Yatohime. He says that what you say about me is not untrue because people not knowing the difference between me and the Lord, they only say that I am the Supreme Lord. Those people who don't know the difference between me and the Supreme Lord Krishna, they glorify me as if I am the Supreme Lord. Then he says that Yena svarochisha vishvam rochitam rochayam yaham yatarkognir yata somo yatarksha grahataraka. I manifest the universe which is already manifest by the Supreme Lord. Just like the sun, fire, moon, constellations, they illuminate only what the Lord chooses to illuminate. So my power to create comes from the power of Krishna. So Brahmaji नारद मुनि के उत्तर में अपने प्रामाणिकता अपने प्रामाणिकता के गुण को प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं. नारद मुनि बोल रहे थे कि मुझे लग रहा है कि आप ही भगवान हैं, क्योंकि आप बिना किसी के सहायता से इस ब्रह्मांड को सृष्टि कर रहे हैं. सो ब्रह्मा जी बोले कि जो लोग मेरा और भगवान के जो अंतर नहीं जानते हैं वही लोग मुझे ऐसा तारीफ करते हैं. सच ये है कि मैं भगवान से शक्ति प्राप्त करके उस शक्ति को उपयोग करके ही मैं इस ब्रह्मांड को सृष्टि करता हूं. इस तरह ब्रह्मा जी अपने प्रामाणिकता को प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं. और so Brahmaji is speaking very beautiful shloka, the second canto, 6th chapter. Na bharati menga mrishopalakshyate na vai kvachin me manasa mrisho gatihi na me rishi kani patantya satpate Yanme hirdaut kantyavata harihi. Brahmaji says that because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with great zeal, whatever I say, it never turns out to be false. And nor is the progress of my mind ever deterred. Because I have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, my mind never gets degraded. Name rishikani patantya satpate. Nor are my senses ever degraded by temporary attachment to matter. So Brahmaji is giving all credit to Krishna. By taking shelter of Krishna, one's words, mind and senses will not get degraded. So ब्रह्माजी इस श्लोक में बहुत ही अद्भुत तरीके से बताते हैं कि जब कोई एक व्यक्ति भगवान के चरण कमल में शरण लेते हैं, उनके मन और वचन और उनके इंद्रिय कभी इनका पतन नहीं होता है. हाँ. एंड ब्रह्माजी से इस फर्दर नतोस्म्यखम तच्चरणं समीयुषाम भवच्छिदं स्वस्त्ययनं सुमंगलम यो ह्यात्ममाया विभवं स्म पर्यगात् यथा नभस्वान्तमता परे कुतः. So therefore, it is best for me to surrender unto his lotus feet. Natosmyakam tacharanam samiyusham bhavachidam. The lotus feet of Krishna alone can cut off the samsara. Bhavachidam. Swastyayanam sumangalam. It will bestow the highest auspiciousness and happiness to a living entity. योह्यात्म माया विभवं स्म पर्यगात् यथा नभस्वांत मता परे कुतः. The glories of the lotus feet of Krishna are so unlimited that even the Lord cannot estimate the glories of himself. Just like the sky cannot estimate its own limits. इस श्लोक में ब्रह्मा जी बताते हैं, मैं इसीलिए भगवान के चरण कमलों को आश्रय लेना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि भगवान के चरण कमलों से ही एक जीवात्मा, बद्ध जीवात्मा का संसार में जो संसार पूरी तरह से नष्ट होता है, एक जीवात्मा के जीवन में सच्चा मंगल उनके जीवन में भगवान के चरण कमल से आश्रय करने से ही होता है. और भगवान के महिमा इस प्रकार है कि स्वयं भगवान अपने महिमा को माप नहीं कर पाते हैं. स्वयं भगवान अपने महिमा को गिन नहीं पाते हैं. जैसे आकाश, स्वयं आकाश के कितना बड़ा है आकाश माप नहीं कर पाते हैं. इसी तरह भगवान अपने खुद के महिमा के बारे में Bhagavan, Lord is not able to estimate his own limits. Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport in one place. So this Brahmaji's prayers comes in various places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you see, Brahmaji's prayers comes in 3rd canto, 9th chapter, 25 shlokas. 8th canto, 5th chapter, when the Devatas disrespected Durvasa Muni and then they lose all their opulences, the Devatas go to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma takes all the Devatas and the Lord Brahma offers prayers on behalf of the Devatas to Krishna. Brahmaji's prayers comes in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, 40 prayers. And apart from that, 10th canto, 1st chapter also, Brahma only prays on behalf of the Bhumi Devi and the Devatas for the appearance of Krishna. The 10th canto, 2nd chapter, prayers offered by the Devatas to the Krishna in the womb of Devaki. So that Devatas were also led by Brahma. So all the Devatas are offering prayers, but Brahmaji is also offering prayers. So therefore we see Brahmaji's prayers comes in so many places. In one prayer, in the 3rd canto, 9th chapter, Brahmaji says that Yasmad bibem ahamapi vipararda drishnyam adhyasita sakala loka namaskritam yat tepe tapo bahusavo varurutsamanas Tasmai namo bhagavate adimakaya tubhyam. So Brahmaji says that Yasmad bibem, I fear the time factor, or I used to fear the time factor. Aham api dviparartha drishnyam. Although I have such a long lifespan, although I am situated in Satyaloka, still I used to fear the time factor. And that Satyaloka is offered respects by all the planets. Adhyasitam sakalaloka namaskritam yat. And I desire to bring the time factor under my control. I performed many sacrifices. Tepe tapo bahu savo. I performed many sacrifices. But I was unable to bring the time factor under my control. And ultimately, I understood that the only way by which how I can overcome the influence of the time factor is by performing bhakti to Krishna. Tasmai namo bhagavate adimakaya tubhyam. So now in pure bhakti, I offer my respects to the Supreme Lord. So here we see that Brahmaji is declaring that when Brahmaji used to fear the time factor, and Prabhupada writes in that purport that Brahmaji out of fear of the time factor, Brahmaji does not waste a single moment in performing devotional service to the Lord. So in that connection, Prabhupada writes another purport, that in the third canto. He says that animals have no sense of responsibility. But even the humans who have developed a sense of responsibility waste their valuable time without engaging in devotional service to the Lord. And they live merrily, unafraid of impending death. And this is the madness of human society. Because Brahma is also afraid of his death. Brahma, who has a long lifespan, he is also conscious of his time and he does not waste a single moment. So suppose somebody is studying 10 hours a day for an exam. So another person is asking, oh, you are studying 10 hours a day for exam? When is the exam? So that person says, oh, my exam is after 15 years. And this person is going to give the same exam after 15 days. Says, I am going to give the same exam after 15 days, but I am hardly worried about this exam. But you are giving the exam after 15 years, but you are studying 10 hours a day. Then he will be surprised. Oh, that means this exam is something difficult. We have to study very seriously. And by passing this exam, one will get a great benefit. At that time, it dawns upon him how I must take this exam very seriously. Because he has an exam within few days, but he is wasting his time. But another person has an exam after a long time, but he is very consciously studying for the exam. So we human beings have got a lifespan of 60 years or 70 years or 80 years. But we have such a short lifespan, but we carelessly waste our time in many pursuits. But Brahmaji has a lifespan of dviparartha. But Prabhupada writes, if you read that purport, I think 3rd canto 9th chapter, but Brahmaji is very conscious about using every moment of his time in devotional service. So ब्रह्मा जी के बारे में श्रीमद् भागवत में बताया गया है कि ब्रह्मा जी का जो आयुष है सबसे लंबे आयु के हैं ब्रह्मा जी, पर ब्रह्मा जी उनके हर एक क्षण को भगवत भक्ति में, भगवत चिंतन में, भगवान के सेवा में बहुत ध्यान पूर्वक हर एक क्षण को उपयोग करते हैं। हमारे मनुष्य जीवन में हमारा जो आयुष है बहुत ही कम उम्र के हैं, 50 साल, 60 साल, 70 साल का है, पर ब्रह्मा जी इतने लंबे आयु के बाद भी हर एक क्षण को बहुत ध्यान पूर्वक भगवान के सेवा में उपयोग करते हैं। इससे हम प्रेरणा लेना चाहिए कि हमारे पास जो समय है उसको हम कैसे ध्यान पूर्वक उपयोग करना चाहिए। एंड अबाउट ब्रह्मा, Lord Krishna exhibits his great pleasure towards Brahma because Brahma has taken the responsibility for creating this universe. The Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that tam priyamanam samupastitam kavim praja visarge nija shasanarhanam babasha ishat स्मितशोचिशागिरा प्रिय प्रियम प्रीतमना करे स्पृशन. So Lord Krishna, he shook hands with Krishna, he shook hands with Brahma, and he smiled at Brahma, and then he spoke to Lord Brahma. So Srila Prabhupada says that because Brahma has taken responsibility for creating, so therefore Lord Krishna exhibited his great pleasure. So Brahma not only performs the service of creation as a demigod, but Brahma also starts the Brahma Sampradaya in order to disseminate the spiritual knowledge. And any person in this Brahma Sampradaya, if a person takes any responsibility, it could be a simple responsibility of, bringing flowers for the deities, or taking responsibility of making garland, or cooking, or any responsibility. Any person who takes some responsibility, Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna will shake hands with that person. So, not only with Brahma, any person in the Brahma Sampradaya who takes some responsibility in the service of the Lord, Krishna will shake hands with that person. So, Srila Prabhupada बोलते हैं कि ब्रह्मा जी ने इस सृष्टि, इस ब्रह्मांड को, जीवात्माओं के शरीरों को सृष्टि करने के लिए उत्तरदायित्व लिए हैं। इससे भगवान बहुत प्रसन्न होकर उनसे हाथ मिलाए हैं। श्री श्रील प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं कि इस ब्रह्म संप्रदाय में कोई भी व्यक्ति भगवान के सेवा में कोई उत्तरदायित्व लेते हैं, उनसे भी भगवान प्रसन्न होके उनसे भी हाथ मिलाएंगे। हाँ, और another beautiful shloka which comes in 3rd canto, नाना कर्म वितानेन प्रजा बह्वी सिसृक्षतः नात्मा वसीदत अस्मिंस्ते वर्षीयान मदनुग्रह. So Lord Vishnu is telling to Brahma that since you have desired to increase the population innumerably, praja bhakvi sisrikshataha, and since you are desired to expand your service, you shall never be deprived in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase for all time. Since you are desired to increase the population, since you are desired to increase the service, my mercy will keep on increasing upon you. So the more a person plans to expand the service of the Lord, the more the Lord's mercy will also increase upon him. In the one of the difference between, we see in the Christian religion, they say that Adam and Eve committed the original sin, and we are all products of the sin. Like that, the Bible it is spoken. But you see how the Sanatan Dharma gives a completely opposite perspective. In the Sanatan Dharma, when the man and women come together for the purpose of procreating children by following the principles of Dharma, that act is considered to be divine. Dharmo aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. And Lord is telling to Brahma, because your desire to increase the population, that is in the service of the Lord, therefore my mercy upon you will definitely increase. And Srila Prabhupada also says that when a person desires to increase the number of devotees, the mercy of Krishna will also increase upon a person. A pure devotee, being cognizant of the facts of the particular time, always desires to expand the number of devotees of the Lord in various ways. Such expansions of the transcendental service may appear to be material to the materialist, but factually they are expansions of the causeless mercy of the Lord towards the devotee. So, भगवान ब्रह्मा जी को बोलते हैं कि आप इस ब्रह्मांड के सृष्टि में इस सृष्टि के सेवा को आप बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, जीवात्माओं के लिए शरीर सृष्टि करके हर एक जीवात्मा के लिए आप शरीर सृष्टि करना चाहते हैं, आप अपने सेवा को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, इसीलिए आप याद रखिए कि आपके प्रति मेरा कृपा भी बढ़ते जाएगा. हाँ, इस तरह भगवान आशीर्वाद देते हैं. And so we see about Brahma's determination. About Brahma's determination, there's one chapter in the third canto, I think 10th or 12th chapter, when you read Brahma, how he was performing the service of creation. In every step in creation, he faced some obstacle. Right in the beginning, when he wanted to, when the Swayambhu Manu wanted to procreate, at that time he saw that the Brahmanda was at the bottom of the Garbhodaka ocean. And then Swayambhu Manu asked Brahma, please keep the Bhumandala in the proper, in the orbit, so that I can actually place the living entities after creating. But Brahmaji, he was wondering, how can I lift the Bhumandala and keep it in the proper orbit? So Brahmaji became perplexed, but he did not become discouraged in his service. And then Brahmaji, when he was creating, initially he had to create 5 types of ajnana. He had to create moha, mahamoha, andhatamishra, tamishra and tamas. He had to create 5 types of ignorance in the beginning. But that was needed in the service of creation. But Brahmaji, after doing that, he was feeling bad. Well, I have to put the living entities in ignorance. So Brahmaji was feeling somewhat bad, because as a soft-hearted Vaishnava, he felt that, oh, what sort of service I have to perform. So, but Brahmaji did not stop doing the service. He performed the service. Brahmaji, when he asked the 4 Kumaras, you also actually procreate living entities and increase the population. But the 4 Kumaras, they refused to obey the order of Brahma. Again, Brahma became disturbed. But Brahmaji did not stop his service. He did not become angry with the 4 Kumaras. And when Rudra was born, Brahmaji told the Rudras to start creation. But Rudras, they created so many living entities, and all these living entities, they started destroying the creation. So Brahmaji became disturbed. I told him to create, but all these living entities created by Rudra, they are actually destroying this universe, but this is the beginning of creation. So again there was an obstacle. And then Lord Brahma, he himself got distracted by kama vasana in his mind. For some time he himself became distracted by seeing the form of his own daughter. But somehow by the mercy of the Lord, he again came back to his right consciousness. But why I am saying is that there may be so many obstacles in the life of a sadhaka, Sometimes we tell somebody to perform a service, that person doesn't do the service. Or sometimes we get distracted by different things in this world. Or sometimes we have to perform a service which we may not like it, but which is needed. Just like Brahmaji had to create 5 types of ignorance. He did not like it, but he had to do it. And sometimes we engage a person in a particular service, but that person ends up doing something else, or he performs, he is not fit for that service. So like sometimes we delegate a wrong person for a particular service. So this kind of difficulties were faced even by Lord Brahma. But even after Brahmaji created so many living entities, but still he was feeling dissatisfied. He created many living entities, but still he felt dissatisfied because he felt that I did not create a particular kind of body which will be the best facility for the living entity to attain liberation from this samsara, to perfect his life. So he was feeling dissatisfied. So at that time he created the form of a human being. So why I am telling this in short is that Brahmaji, in his service of creation, he experienced many obstacles. Some obstacles from externally, or some obstacles from internally, like there are many obstacles. But still, he never stopped his service. So from that we can learn how Brahmaji was determined to render service to the Lord. Bhartruhari in the Niti Shataka, he talks about 3 levels of determination. Prarabhyate na kalu vigna bayena. A person in the lowest level of determination, such a person, out of fear of the obstacles of the service, he does not even start that activity. Prarabhyate na kalu vigna bayena nichaihi. Prarabhya vigna vihata viramanti madhyaha. The people who are intermediate level, they start a particular activity, but when they face the obstacles, then they stop that activity. But vignai punarapi pratihanyamana prarabdha uttama guna na parityajanti. But those who are in the highest level, despite facing repeated obstacles, they never stop that right activity. They never stop that service. So Brahmaji faced repeated obstacles, but he never stopped his service to the Lord. So in this way we see many lessons from Brahma. Lastly, maybe I'll stop with this. Brahmaji's role also comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, how he plays the role of a mediator, an expert mediator. Various places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 4th canto, the Daksha Yajna, when the followers of Lord Shiva, सब ब्रह्माजी से जीवन से हम ये सीख सकते हैं कि ब्रह्माजी भगवान के सेवा को कैसे दृढ़ता से करते हैं. जब भगवान ब्रह्मा जी सृष्टि करते थे, उनको बहुत बाधाएं आता था. उनको 5 प्रकार की अज्ञान वृत्ति को सृष्टि करना पड़ा. और जब चतुष्कुमारों को बोले कि आप भी सृष्टि में मुझे सहायता कीजिए, बस चतुष्कुमारों ने उनके आज्ञा को पालन नहीं किए, तो ब्रह्मा जी कुपित हो गए, ब्रह्मा जी असंतुष्ट हो गए. इसलिए ब्रह्मा जी को भी सृष्टि करने में अनेक बाधाएं आता था, पर उन्होंने कभी भगवान के सेवा को कभी त्याग नहीं दिए. उन्होंने दृढ़ता से भगवान की सेवा को किए. इसी को इस टाइप का दृढ़ता को ही भर्तृहरि उत्तम श्रेणी की दृढ़ता ऐसा बोलते हैं. जो नीचे श्रेणी की दृढ़ता में एक व्यक्ति बाधाएं के बारे में सोचते सोचते ही वो अच्छे काम को शुरुआत ही नहीं करते हैं। जो मध्यम श्रेणी के दृढ़ता वाले वो अच्छे कार्य को शुरुआत करते हैं, जब बाधाएं आते हैं उस कार्य को रुकावट बंद कर लेते हैं। तो जो उत्तम श्रेणी की दृढ़ता इस प्रकार है कि उस कार्य को करने में बार बार बाधाएं आने के बाद भी उस कार्य को वो बंद नहीं करते हैं, उस सेवा को चालू रखते हैं। इस तरह ब्रह्मा जी के जीवन से दृढ़ता को सीख सकते हैं। सो ब्रह्मा जी एज ए रेस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन, when in the Daksha Yajna, when the followers of Lord Shiva, when they destroyed the sacrifice of Daksha, so at that time Brahmaji spoke to the Devatas. After offending a personality like Lord Shiva, what do you expect in your life? In fact, you don't even deserve to live. You should have died. You should be happy that you are still living. So he actually chastised them that you also were part of the Daksha's offense to Lord Shiva, because you did not oppose Daksha's offense to Lord Shiva, you were also party to that. So after offending a personality like Lord Shiva, what do you expect? So Brahmaji chastised them. But at the same time, Brahmaji understood that Daksha, definitely offended Lord Shiva, but then Daksha is performing a yajna for the welfare of the universe, for the pleasure of Vishnu. And Daksha is probably over-punished by Lord Shiva. And this, although Daksha committed an offense to Lord Shiva, but the sacrifice should be inaugurated again, because that is meant for the welfare of the universe. Therefore, Brahmaji took all of them and then he went to Kailasha. And then he glorifies Lord Shiva, and Brahmaji, on behalf of the Devatas, he tells to Lord Shiva that you please reduce the punishment of Daksha Prajapati. You please revive Daksha Prajapati and give him a goat's head. And the followers of Lord Shiva had actually punished, they had actually removed the mustache of Bhrigumuni, they had removed the teeth of Pusha. Like that they had punished different people. They showed excessive anger. So Brahmaji told Lord Shiva, you please reduce their punishment. Let Bhrigumuni get a mustache of, I think he gives some other options. So essentially Brahmaji says that you please reduce their punishment, because the sacrifice has to be inaugurated again. It is meant for the welfare of the universe. So Srila Prabhupada writes in a letter, there will be meetings, resolutions, dissolutions, and no solutions, but the chanting should go on. The Sankirtan Yajna should go on. So there may be so many differences, many meetings may take place, but the Sankirtan Yajna should never stop. Chanting of the holy names and the propagation of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Brahmaji also, this point of Srila Prabhupada comes from this episode of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Brahmaji understood, although there is mistake on the part of Daksha, but still he was doing a good activity, therefore the sacrifice should be revived. Therefore he appealed to Lord Shiva that please revive the sacrifice. So here we see that the same Lord Brahma chastised the Devatas, at the same time he is actually pleading to Lord Shiva, you actually over-punished them. You please, Daksha is a pious person, Daksha is a pious person, but you have given more punishment to him. You please give him life, you give him a goat's head, let the sacrifice begin. So because Brahmaji as a leader must see the overall situation of he must see the overall picture. What is the what is meant for the welfare of the larger society. The leader should not get carried away by the feelings towards the individual person. The leader should see the overall picture. So Brahmaji saw the overall picture, and Brahmaji played the role of a mediator and a leader very appropriately, and then he appropriately spoke to Lord Shiva, inspired Lord Shiva to revive the sacrifice. And we also see Brahmaji's role in the 5th canto, Priyavrat Maharaj's episode. So Priyavrat Maharaj was living in the ashram of Narada Muni. So at that time, there was a need of a king, and Swayambhu Manu, the time for Swayambhu Manu to retire from the kingdom had come. And Swayambhu Manu appealed to Priyavrat Maharaj to take up the responsibility of being the king. But Priyavrat Maharaj was not ready to accept the responsibility. Priyavrat Maharaj was inspired by the instructions of Narada Muni. Narada Muni's instruction, renunciation, he was inspired by that. Therefore, he wanted to continue to live in the ashram of Narada Muni. But Swayambhu Manu was telling him to become the king and enter the Grahastha ashram. He didn't specifically tell the Grahastha ashram, but it is understood that he wanted him to become the king. So at that time, Lord Brahma, there is a conflicting instruction between Narada Muni and Swayambhu Manu. And Priyavrat Maharaj wanted to follow the instructions of Narada Muni. So at that time, Brahmaji comes and tells to Priyavrat Maharaj. He says that, Natasya kaschit tapasa vidyayava nayoga viryena manishayava naivartha dharmai paratasvatova kritam vikantum tanubrut vibhuya. One cannot avoid the order of the Lord by one's power of austerity, knowledge or yoga, by independent intelligence, by wealth, by dharma, or by relying on others' strength or one's own mode. So Brahmaji told Priyavrat Maharaj, you are caught between the instruction of Narada and Swayambhu Manu. But use your intelligence in such a way that you can follow both their instructions. Narada Muni has given instructions on renunciation, and Swayambhu Manu is telling you to become the king. But use your intelligence as to how you can follow both of them. That means you take up this service of becoming the king. It is a service given by the Lord. It is the desire of the Lord, you must become the king. At the same time, you can follow the instructions of Narada Muni. That means you can take up the role of being the king in the spirit of detachment. Or in other words, you follow the principle of Yukta Vairagya. Use your intelligence and to follow the instructions of Narada Muni as well as Swayambhu Manu. And Brahmaji played the role of a mediator so expertly that at the end, all the parties became satisfied. Swayambhu Manu was looking for somebody to appoint as the successor and retire. Swayambhu Manu became satisfied. And Narada Muni also did not have resentment towards Lord Brahma. Narada Muni did not think that, oh, the person from my ashram, he has been taken away by Brahma. Sometimes one manpower is taken by some other leader or somebody else. Oh, my manpower is taken by that person. So Narada Muni also did not become unhappy. And Priyavrat Maharaj also did not have any grudge towards Lord Brahma. But Priyavrat Maharaj understood that it is a desire of the Lord. So the materialists are expert in dealing with the matter. We come up with smaller and smaller electronic chips. We come up with advanced technologies, artificial intelligence, data science. We come up with, materialists are expert in dealing with the matter, but the spiritualists are expert in dealing with the emotions of the people. So Brahmaji so expertly dealt with that situation that all the parties concerned they were ultimately satisfied. None of them had any ill feelings towards Brahma. So in that way, Brahmaji's role as a mediator comes in various places in the Bhagavatam. Lastly, how Brahmaji resolved the conflict between Prithu Maharaj and Indra. Prithu Maharaj was performing the 100th sacrifice, but Indra was coming again and again and stealing the horse which is meant to be sacrificed by coming in the dress of a sannyasi. And at a certain point, Prithu Maharaj, the priest told that we will chant mantras and we will make Indra fall on this yajna. We will kill Indra. By chanting the mantras, Indra will die in this yajna. So at that time, Brahma comes there. So we can see, Prabhupada says in one purport, from Brahma we can learn what is the quality of a person who has taken responsibility. A responsible person, whenever there is some disturbance, he should immediately come to rectify the situation. So Prabhupada says in one place that Brahma also came when Hiranyakashipu, Brahma being in charge of the whole universe, immediately comes to control the situation. When the Prachetas were burning the trees excessively, immediately Brahma came to rectify the situation. So a responsible man in any establishment is always alert to keep peace and harmony within the establishment. So Brahmaji comes to Prithu Maharaj and he tells to Prithu Maharaj, you stop performing the 100th sacrifice. Actually, the whole mistake is being performed by Indra. But Brahmaji did not go to Indra because Brahmaji knew that Indra has a stubborn nature and Indra will not listen to the advice. But he had faith in Prithu Maharaj that Prithu Maharaj will listen to his advice. And Brahmaji expertly advises Prithu Maharaj and convinces him, you stop this 100th sacrifice. If you remain with the 99 sacrifices, by my blessings, you will become more famous than Indra. 99 is less than 100, but 99 plus the blessings of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas is greater than 100. So at that time, Brahmaji tells to Prithu Maharaj, Masmin Maharaja Kritasma Chintam Nishama Yasmad Vacha Adritatma Yad Jhayato Daiva Hatam Nu Kartum Manoti Rushtum Vishate Tamundam. Very beautiful shloka. Brahmaji says that do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. It is destined that you cannot perform the 100th sacrifice. That is why you are repeatedly putting the effort, but the horse is again and again getting stolen. So according to the providence, according to the will of the Lord, you cannot perform the 100th sacrifice. And the more you try to put effort against the Daiva factor, you will go deeper and deeper into the darkest region of ignorance. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we try to put effort against the Daiva, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. So therefore, you stop with this 99th sacrifice. In that way, Brahmaji comes at appropriate situation for the welfare of the larger universe, larger society. Whether it is Prachetas burning the trees excessively, or Prithu Maharaj performing the 100th sacrifice, or the need of a king, need of Priyavrat Maharaj to become the king, or inspiring Lord Shiva to reduce the punishment of Daksha so that the sacrifice can be revived. So Brahmaji is there at the right time as a responsible person. And in this way, Brahmaji's character comes so profoundly in the Bhagavatam, and there are many beautiful sections in the Bhagavatam, but with this I'll end here. Hare Krishna. So ब्रह्मा जी से जीवन से एक जब दो व्यक्तियों के बीच में झगड़ा होता है, जो मध्यस्थ करने वाला आदमी का रोल कैसे होना चाहिए, कैसे दोनों व्यक्तियों के भावनाओं को सही तरह से समझ के उस झगड़ा को कैसे सॉल्व करना चाहिए, उसके ब्रह्मा जी के जीवन से देख सकते हैं. उसके लिए अनेक उदाहरण हमने देखा. पृथु महाराज और इंद्रा के बीच में जो झगड़ा हो रहा था, और दक्ष यज्ञ में जब शिव जी के अनुयायियों ने दक्ष यज्ञ को नाश कर दिए थे, उस समय ब्रह्मा जी ने दक्ष के अनुयायियों और शिव जी के बीच में उन्होंने मध्यस्थ किए. और ब्रह्मा जी ने प्रियव्रत महाराज को दो टाइप का आज्ञा मिला था कि नारद मुनि बोले थे कि आप वैराग्य को पालन कीजिए, पर स्वयंभू मुनि बोले थे कि आप राजा के राज्य का उत्तरदायित्व को स्वीकार कीजिए. पर ब्रह्मा जी ने प्रियव्रत महाराज को बोले कि आप दोनों के आज्ञा को आप एक ही समय पालन कर सकते हैं. युक्त वैराग्य को स्वीकार करके हम दोनों के आज्ञा को पालन कर सकते हैं. इससे ब्रह्मा जी ने अनेक घटनाओं में एक सच्चा नेता का गुण कैसे होना चाहिए कि बड़े समाज के श्रेय के लिए, समाज के हित के लिए बड़ा पिक्चर को समझ के उसके अनुसार एक नेता डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, उसको भी हम ब्रह्मा जी के जीवन से सीख सकते हैं. हरे कृष्णा. Hare Krishna. Okay. What is the question? You can repeat.
Question is that the Jivatma, which has escaped the material realms, does not have the false ego. If it does not have the false ego, then it is established in real ego. Then why it does not understand that it is part and parcel of Krishna, does not serve Krishna, why does it not enter into Vaikuntha?
So that is when the Jivatma is liberated from the false ego, why does he not enter Vaikuntha? That means if he is situated in real ego. See, Krishna has given the choice to the Jivatma. The Jivatma, the Supreme Absolute Truth has the three features, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So certain living entities, they are afraid of actually they are afraid of a personal situation of wanting to serve the Supreme Lord. At the same time, they want to get liberated from the material world. They want to get out of the material world, but they just want to be in the spiritual realm. They just want to be in a spiritual realm. They want to attain Kaivalya Mukti. They think that Kaivalya Mukti is the highest Mukti. So Krishna Krishna reciprocates with the people accordingly. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. Yeah, that is not it's a Brahmananda. Brahmananda is a very high state of Ananda compared to the Anandas of this world. But the Brahmananda is insignificant compared to the Bhakti Rasa which a devotee experiences in the spiritual world. But when the living entities only wants Kaivalya Mukti, then Krishna does not, Krishna awards that. But he has to perform some Bhakti also. But Krishna awards that Kaivalya Mukti. That's how we can explain. Yeah, that stage of Kaivalya Mukti is like, it is a stage, like for example, somebody is suffering from diarrhea and he is going through terrible diarrhea, lot of miseries. So then from the diarrhea, then he takes a medicine, the diarrhea stops and he is just able to eat some rice and a non-spicy dal. But that is not he has come out of the diarrhea, but he is only able to digest only that much. But higher than that, a person should regain the health in such a way that a person should be able to eat a full course feast. That is the complete situation of health. But there is also in-between stage. One is the suffering of diarrhea, another is a perfect health. But there is an in-between stage is that a person is relieved of the diarrhea, but he is not in that state of experiencing the full course feast. That is the stage of Kaivalya Mukti. Kaivalya Mukti is a stage where a person is freed from the sufferings of the material world, but at the same time, he is not tasting the Bhakti Rasa in serving Krishna. He is in between stage where he is experiencing Brahmananda. Like that. Hare Krishna. Or people in the Brahmanan. They also attain if they desire Kaivalya Mukti, they will attain Kaivalya Mukti. Or if they desire service to the Lord, they will attain Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya Mukti. For those Paramatma realized people also, only two options. Kaivalya Mukti or the other 4 types of Mukti. These are the options available for them also. Bhagavatam 2nd canto, 2nd chapter. There's a shloka pramana is also there. Those who realize the Paramatma, they also go to the realm of Brahman. Either Kaivalya Mukti or these 4 types of liberation. Depending on their desire, they are awarded.
Why did Lord Brahma become lustful at the time of creation? Prabhuji mentioned that he saw lustfully and later came back to normal stage. So, what was the reason that he fell victim to?
So the question is that why, and Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter about Kama. Kama arises because of Ajnana, ignorance. And that ignorance is there since Anadikala. So the material field is so unsteady that these episodes show that even a great personality like Lord Brahma, he can also fall victim to lust. But these personalities, although the Shastras, they don't hide those stories, at the same time, Shastras narrate the stories with great caution without demeaning those personalities. We cannot say there is no reason for this. What is the reason? We can't say any reason because the Bhagavatam 3rd canto 7th chapter, I think 16th shloka. The reason for avidya is actually causeless. Because the reason for kama is basically avidya. And if you read the Vidura's question to Maitreya Rishi or Maitreya's answer to Vidura, the avidya is causeless, he says. Anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya atma vedanam swatona sambhavadanya tattvajno jnanado bhavet. The living entity is endowed with avidya since beginningless time. That which is beginningless is also causeless. This word anadi avidya comes in various places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can't tell a reason for why Lord Brahma fell victim to lust. It's because of avidya, and that avidya is actually without a cause. Since beginningless time it is there. Yeah, sometimes somebody may commit a Vaishnava aparad, and then because of Vaishnava aparad, a person may lose the capacity to control one's senses. Shaubari Muni, he offended Garuda, and then he lost his capacity to control his senses. So those reasonings are given for that individual thing. But for this Brahmaji, this one, there is no particular reason is not given. This instance basically shows the power of Kama, power of Maya, that even such great personalities can fall victim. The ultimate reason is avidya, and that avidya is causeless. Hare Krishna. Desire comes from? No, there is a spiritual desire and material desire. Material desire comes from Rajoguna. Material desire comes from Rajoguna. But spiritual desire does not come from Rajoguna, it comes from spiritual platform. And the desire for Kaivalya Mukti, it is a selfish desire. But it's a selfish desire. One wants to put a complete end to all the miseries and experience Brahmananda. But it is not like a Rajoguna desire which we see in the material world. So desire is that is the only power of a living entity. But the desire can be influenced by the three modes of nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Or desire can be influenced by the transcendental platform, Shuddha Sattva. Kaivalya Mukti is a sort of selfish desire. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakali, Ashanta, Krishna Bhakta, Nishkama, Atayeva Shanta. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that even a person who desires mukti, it's a kind of selfish desire. That is why akamas sarvakamo va moksha kama udaradi. So the akama means a person who does not have any desires, the pure devotee. Sarvakama is who has all kinds of material desires. Moksha kama means who has a desire for moksha. Moksha kama is placed after the sarva kama because the desire for moksha is also a selfish desire. Because the desire for moksha is what? A person wants to put complete end to all the miseries of this world and experience Brahmananda. And because the desire to eternally engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, that desire is lacking. So it is a sort of selfish desire. But it is not a selfish desire like the desires to enjoy this material world, because a person wants to get out of the material world. So it is in between the material desires of this world and the spiritual desire of wanting to serve the Supreme Lord. It is in between that. Free will. Yeah, because of the free will, Krishna, according to he has the free will, therefore his idea is that he thinks that Kaivalya Mukti is the highest, therefore he desires that. So therefore Krishna awards that according to the desire. But when that person gets the association of a pure devotee, then his aspiration will change from the desire for Kaivalya Mukti to Prema, service to Krishna. Four Kumaras were situated in the Brahman realization. They wanted to attain Kaivalya Mukti. Shukdev Goswami was situated in Brahman realization. But four Kumaras by the association of Brahmaji, Shukdev Goswami by the association of the Vyasadev, the devotees of Vyasadev, he became actually a Vaishnava. Then he started aspiring for Prema. Hare Krishna. Friend?
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji beautifully explained how Brahma is such an ideal Mahajana. So as a student, as a teacher, then his surrender, his humility, all such beautiful qualities of Brahma, Prabhuji explained. And he is our Sampradaya Acharya also, he is the first Guru of our Sampradaya. So let's try to follow in his footsteps. So this session will continue tomorrow evening also. And I think Prabhuji will discuss on Narada Muni, Prabhuji. Tomorrow. Prabhuji will be continuing with the session tomorrow, speaking the glories of Narada Muni. Just how to follow in the footsteps of Narada Muni. So please continue, and we request all of you to be present tomorrow also. So let us thank Prabhuji once by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very nectarian to hear from you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.